Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jaya Mudirahe Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktigam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 14. Ye tu anevam vidham asantah Stabdha Sat Abhimanina Pashun Druhyanti Vishrabdha Pretya Kadanti Te Cha Tan Etvanevam Vidoshantam Stabda Sad Abhimanina Pashun Druhyanti Vishrabdha Pretya Kadanti Techatan Etvanevam Vidoshantam Stabda Sad Abhimanina Pashun Druhyante Vishrabdha Pretya Khadanti Techanan Etvanevam Vidoshantam Stabdha Sadabhimanina Pashun Druhyante Vishrabdha Pretya Khadanti Techatan. Kindly repeat. Matajis. Okay. Translation, purport by disciples of his Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, those sinful persons who are ignorant of actual religious principles yet consider themselves to be completely pious, without compunction commit violence against innocent animals who are fully trusting in them. In their next lives, such sinful persons will be eaten by the same creatures they have killed in this world. Purport. In this verse, we can clearly see the great discrepancies in those persons who do not surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead on this law. As stated in the Bhagavatam, Harava Bhaktasya Kuto Mahadguna Those who do not accept the supremacy of the Supreme Lord gradually become infected with the most sinful propensities that bring, in their turn, terrible suffering upon the non-devotees. In the Western countries such as America, many people proudly proclaim themselves to be most pious religionists and sometimes even prophets or representatives of God, boasting of their religiosity. Such foolish people experience no fear or doubt in cruelly slaughtering innumerable animals in slaughterhouses or on hunting trips for their whimsical sense gratification. In the state of Mississippi, there are sometimes pig killing festivals in which entire families enjoy watching a pig cruelly butchered before their eyes. Similarly, a former president of the United States from Texas did not consider any social occasion complete without the slaughtering of a cow. Such persons mistakenly consider themselves to be perfectly observing the laws of God, and due to such arrogant foolishness lose all touch with reality. When a man is raising an animal for slaughter, he feeds the animal nicely and encourages it to grow fat. Thus, the animal gradually accepts its would-be killer as its protector and master. When the master finally approaches helpless animal with a sharp knife or a gun, the animal thinks, "Oh, my master is joking with me." Only at the last minute does the animal understand that the so-called master is death personified. It is clearly stated in Vedic literature that cruel masters who kill innocent animals will undoubtedly be killed in the next life by a similar process. Mamsya bhaktya mutra yasya mamsam ihamaham etan mamsasya mamsatvam pravadanti manishina. That creature whose flesh I am eating here and now will consume me in the next life. Thus, meat is called mamsa, as described by learned authorities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this grisly fate of animal killers is described by Narada Muni to King Prachinabari, who was excessively killing animals in so-called sacrifices. Bhubo prajapate rajan pashun pashya tvayadvare samnyapatan jiva sanghan nigrahena sahasrasha ete tvam sampratikshante smaranto vaishasham iva tava samparetam ayakutais chindanti uttitha manava. O ruler of the citizens, my dear king, please see in the sky those animals which you have sacrificed, without compassion and without mercy, in the sacrificial arena. All these animals are awaiting your death so that they can avenge the injuries you have inflicted upon them. After you die, they will angrily pierce your body with iron horns. Bhagavatam, 4th canto. Such punishments of animals killers may take place under the jurisdiction of the Yamaraja on the planet of Lord of Death. In other words, one who kills an animal or who eats meat undoubtedly acquires a debt to the living entity who has contributed his body for the satisfaction of the meat eater. The meat eater must pay his debt by contributing his own body to be consumed in the next life. Such payment of one's debt by offering one's own body to be eaten is confirmed in the Vedic literature. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vamcha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Shindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Katadhara Srivasani Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all the honored Vaishnavas, including Maharaj. So many seniors are sitting here. With the blessing, so I can speak something for my own purification and glorification of the Lord. First of all, I beg forgiveness for not being an exemplary soul in my own practice. I'm really struggling with my own health. So that is another background reason. But anyway, by Vaishnava's mercy, I can overcome my own struggles. This particular shloka is actually elaborating further on the animal sacrifices. Like yesterday, His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu explained in detail like different sacrifices and how like they want to sacrifice something, how they put a mark, like that. There are lot of explanation was given. So, there are multiple points in this purport. So, let us go through one after another. The first thing what is mentioned here is illusion of a false piety. Like many times, especially it's mentioned about Western countries, they think they are the pious people. They advertise animal doesn't have soul, so we can kill them and eat. So this type of propagandas are made in many places across the world, so that they can continue their sense gratification. Their goal is to enjoy senses, and whatever philosophy supports them, they will bring into the picture. And common mass, because they are also want to be get cheated. Like Srila Prabhupada again and repeatedly mentions in his purports, cheaters and the cheated. So section of people want to get cheated, and they find some leader or some celebrity who cheats. So this is the situation, so this is called illusion of false piety. So they think we are also religious. So, and then they get into the cheating religion, right? So, but Srimad Bhagavatam negates the cheating religion, which is giving half truth and this thing, right? The second point is mentioned in the purport is about betrayal of trust. When the animal, if you see any kind of like this poultries or any farms, they are fed very nicely with all type of food and everything, so that they become fat. When they sell these animals, they can make a lot of money out of it. But the animal foolishly thinks that, Hare, my master is so, happy with me. They are, kept on feeding so many, like you to say, nutritious food. But the animal doesn't know that is being fed so that it can be cut and make a lot of money. So this is also happens in the human relationship. We will discuss it once we complete the important points. And the third thing is about how the law of karma acts. Somebody may think, okay, now I want food, I killed some animal. But it's not that is the end of the story. It again, the next life, he has to take birth again to be killed by the same animal. You remember these books, I think here in Juhu, there are so many stalwart book distributors. In my first year Krishna consciousness, I saw the book, Laws of Nature. Very amazing photo, which depicts this particular principle, that the same person, one person is killing the animal, but the head is exchanged. So the next, his turn to be killed by the same animal. So this is nicely, in one picture, so nicely it is depicted by our devotees in Book Trust, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So this is how, this law of reciprocation, we do something injustice to somebody and think that I can escape it. I don't, nobody has seen it, what is the big deal? So that is our conditioning. We get conditioned of that and then we get into problematic. And Prabhupada, like in this purport, it's mentioned about even the people like prophets and people like very high position of religious leaders, they also, create such type of religiosity. Okay, no problem. You can eat meat on the Sunday or some Monday, something. You don't eat for one day, no problem. So they create such type of religious, fervor. But actually, the highest dharma is explained in the Sanatana Dharma. That, what is the human being supposed to do, right? And one more thing explained in this purport is cultural normalization of cruelty. Like Prabhupada mentions, sometimes some animal dies, somebody who is like fond of eating meat, he may take that, meat of that animal. But this organized slaughterhouses across the globe, for the benefit of the economists, to organizedly arrange these slaughterhouses and killing these poor animals is very unfortunate. It is not at all sanctioned by the scriptures. So that purport gives the example of a festival in Mississippi where they come with the family. Family means husband, wife, children, even the small children come, and from childhood they are taught this type of killing, that festivals, and they see those imprints. It is very difficult for them to become a normal human being, vegetarian later on. That's why when our Param Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent his disciples to London, right? Then one person came and asked those devotees, I want to become a Brahmana. So please tell me how should I, what I should do. Then they say, don't drink wine, no intoxication, don't eat meat, no sex outside marriage, and no any kind of gambling. Then the person immediately said, that means there is no meaning to life. I have to die because these are the things I do every day. So this type of festivals which are mentioned here, that forms the basis of such ideology, and people think it's normal. Everybody does it. My friend does, my father does, my neighbor does, everybody is doing, my teacher does. So that's why the cruelty is made normalized. Wherein no problem, you can eat meat, no problem. I see, like some people tell, the so-called Brahmanas in India, like sometimes they are supposed to be vegetarians. But like in my house there is ceremony. The Brahman came, nicely he drank and he ate meat and he came to do chant mantras. I said, whatever Brahman you are, you are supposed to be vegetarian, not to drink wine and follow Shastra, scriptures. But because they say, sab log karte, everybody does, what is the big deal? And these people, especially the younger generation, when they go out of the home, from the home they are controlled somewhat. But when they go out, they say, पुराना जमाने का जो भी पेंडिंग था, वो लोग इतना खा रहे हैं और पी रहे हैं. मतलब they are eating so much that the entire generation what they are following, उनका भी कोटा ये लोग खत्म कर रहे हैं. That is how people are this normalization, because they see everybody is eating, everybody is drinking wine, everybody is drinking meat. What is so big deal about it? This is a very dangerous thing happening about the normalization of the cruelty. The cruelty is advertised. This shop, order in 5 minutes, you will get it. So this is very much dangerous for the living entity. But even you see the animal, the purport explains very nicely. Animal thinks I am being fed nicely. Sometimes it sees a knife or some slaughtering weapon. Hey, my master is just joking, like, it's written very nicely that he is just joking. Nahi marenge mujhe, he will not kill me. But when actually the moment of the death comes, Hare, I am being cheated. I am being fed so nicely, that in the, like one of the presentation I saw about that, devotees were giving, there is a set of goats eating the grass nicely. And in the entire slideshow, one goat after another goat is getting cut by the butcher. But the other goat is peacefully eating. Are Arey, I am getting my grass now. So it is not even bothering about, arey, मेरा पड़ोसी का death हो गया है, उसका, but I am not going to get killed. Similarly, we see our shloka of Mahabharata, ahani ahani bhutani gachantiha yamalayam seshasthavarichani kimashchari matah param. Like, this is one of the most astonishing thing, that everybody around us is, being butchered by Maya, and people are dying out of diseases. Still we feel no problem, we can manage. Just like that same poor animal, it is eating the grass and being normal, nothing is going to happen. That's why this definition of the name is the mamsa, right? So which is the meaning is that the creature whose flesh I am eating here now will consume me in the next life. So that is even the definition itself is like this. It's not that people don't know about this definition. It is just mentioned. So this mamsa is a very dangerous word, but people take meat, without knowing the name and like the literal meaning of the name. Then the purport continues about the Prachina Bari, King Prachina Bari, who was also doing a lot of Vedic sacrifices and killing many animals without knowing, what is the impact and the effect of it. And doesn't know the punishment after death, what type of, the same animals are ready to, with their iron horns, want to kill Prachina Bari. Just like in our modern world, we have virtual reality. There is a virtual reality concept, or the 3D, 4D. But in the Narad Muni had the same technology. With the same virtual reality or something, he showed all the animals to Prachina Bari. That see how they are waiting. So for us, we think the technology is very new and we are in Kali Yuga, we invented. But actually, technology was there every yuga, but only to the qualified people. Like if you see today, the media is very powerful weapon. Yesterday, Devakananda was mentioning that. But earlier, media was under control. If you remember Srila Prabhupada past times, he had to really struggle to buy paper. You all recollect the Lilamrita, because it was not. Nobody can just purchase paper and print something. It is very difficult. It is a process. But now, when something becomes accessible to everybody, you see, people can drive wrong narratives and create a lot of havoc in the society. So this is how it happened. The technology is, has a other side also. It is available to everybody now. Everybody can have a media channel and propagate their own false propagandas. And people, there are foolish followers also who like and subscribe and increase the followers like that. SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. So this is another problem of that having a powerful weapon in the masses. When the masses have such type of weapons like media, so it can actually create a terror and but people don't know about it. They think that what is the big deal? It is just some simple social medium. I can communicate my thoughts and ideologies. And the Vedic literature confirms that meat eater has no choice. Many people think, okay, I will just eat meat and do something, and then it gets settled out. No. He has no choice to pay this debt by contributing their own body to be consumed in their next life. So this is the analogy actually, how it happens. So, if you see this purport, there are very striking examples are also given and some connections are there. One of them is that how this generalization which we discussed, normalization of things, it all depends on association. Like, if you associate with the right type of people, then you get right thoughts. I was hearing recently amazing about the Karna. All of us know about Karna. Actually, if you see the Mahabharata, Karna was a very principled person. He is a daan, koi bhi aata hai to koi daan mangde to he doesn't think, he just gives charity. He is very charitable and very pious, so-called pious and a religious person. But you know what happened in that, when he wanted to come and fight, then the Kurul elders say only the king can fight in this assembly. Other people are not allowed to participate in this competition. Then who comes? Our friend. Who is he? Duryodhan. Duryodhan comes, don't worry. I will make you king of, what is it, Vanga, no? Vangadesh. So that you will get qualification to participate. You become Raja and you can participate in this competition. Then, Karna ko kya lagta hai? I ate salt of Duryodhan. Main namak khaya Duryodhan ka. So, you see, initially he was very pious and everything, but he felt some kind of gratitude. It is natural, again, gratitude is not unnatural, but to a wrong person. So then what happens? Later on, you see when all this, our Shakuni Mama and all these people are planning how to, dethrone Pandavas and send them, or kill them actually, to be frank. Then somehow Karna was not liking. Actually, that is how I'm amazing. Later on he becomes so dangerous person. But Karna was actually telling them, why we have to do these things? Why we have to do this type of Jut Krida? Why you have to do this type of gambling and take their kingdom? This is not correct, no? Let us fight. He was like a warrior. He was asking, let us fight. सामने सामने लड़ेंगे ना? ये क्यों background में आप ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why you are doing all these things? He was actually not liking. So that means Karna was a good person, to be frank. At least he is trying to be righteous person. Follow the codes of Shastra. But you see, gradually when he started associating with Duryodhana more and more, then he became very wicked minded. That's why the Asat Sabha, when it comes, he gets Draupadi, like that. These type of ideas come because of the wrong association. So in our day-to-day life also, when we observe, when we don't have this type of sensitivity, then we may associate with the wrong people, and at the end of the day it becomes too much to realize. It takes a lot of time to realize. It, just like this animal, at the last moment you understand that I am going to get killed. I have associated with somebody who taught me all wrong practices, and then in the end of the day we get killed. In terms of Maya is getting cheated. Then it becomes too heavy that we can't come back from that place. It becomes too difficult actually. So that's why we have to be careful whether some people, when they are teaching, whether they are in the line with Shastras or not. Right? Otherwise they become generalized. I will give some examples, what exactly such things in our little later. Then, if you see the following the blind leaders, here it said, no, you follow such master, ultimately who is going to kill you? It is like blind man following another blind man. That is already living entity's condition, again following another conditioned soul. Especially in the south, we see people worship celebrities. वो पालाभिषेक करते हैं, वो मिल्क का अभिषेक करता है, विग्रह बनाता है. So the people, they don't understand that what are they doing actually, because they think I have a bhakti for this person. This is all concoction. Nowhere mentioned. This Vyakti-Puja. People worship, and they think that this person will save me, but that person doesn't know who are you. There are so many people doing this type of cutouts. Putting some kind of statues and all these things, So this is called blind man following another blind man. Both fall in the ditch. Prabhupada gives the example of how the 6 blind men could not understand what is an elephant, because all 6 of them never don't have vision actually. So that is how suppose sometime a patient goes to another doctor who is also suffering with the same disease, right? So he doesn't know, then he thinks that he will give medicine, I will get cured. So that doesn't happen. When we go to a doctor, somebody who is knowledgeable and who has a record of curing the disease, you have to choose such type of person. Not that somebody who is already similarly struggling, And then I heard another amazing story of a father and a son. Like this, how this association has impact in us. Both of them went to the garden. Like they have a garden in their house. When they went to the garden, they saw something like the son was actually mischievous. He is trying to avoid studies all the time. Khelenge, kudenge. No study. So when the father observed that, how should I teach my son the importance of this study and the good culture and some discipline? The playing is not a bad idea, but the thing is that, if you don't balance your other work, then, you will suffer. So when the father took him to the garden, then the father told, there is a blade of grass. Blade of grass is very important in our philosophy. Trinadapi Sunichena. So he told, son, can you take out this blade of grass? Then son easily took it out. Then he took a little bit ahead and he showed another bigger grass. Then, can you take it out? No problem, Papa, I can do it. So with little bit effort, he pulled it. Like that he went ahead. Then he showed a tree which is this much grown, like mango tree. Can you take it out? Then he said, Papa, I need your support. I can't take it out. It's very, quite, this much thickness it is. Then again he took him to another bigger mango tree. And he cut some mangoes, he washed them and he gave to the son. Son was eating nicely. And then the father asked the son, Beta, when I told you to remove that small blade of simple grass, weed, you could easily remove it. But, when I told you to bring some, pluck out some tree, it is very difficult. So similarly, in the association also, when you don't realize whether we are following the right principles or wrong principles, after progressing many years in bhakti, it is very difficult to come back. It's very difficult. It becomes very like that strong mango tree, very hard. It is like, in that effect, I see some people chant, and I'm giving example because what type of habits become so strong, they chant this type of mantra, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the mantra they chant. I have seen not one, multiple people. And if you tell them, Hare, what are you chanting? This is not Hare Krishna mantra, this is some other mantra, This is some hybrid, But this is how it happens, when you don't change your, initial days, the habits, so they become so strong, it becomes almost impossible to change the wrong practices in our life. So like that become like so hard. And the father also tells another story with the mango tree, another analogy. He said, the weeds grow naturally. Did you find anyone putting some, seeds so that we can grow weeds? Did you find anyone like that? I don't know. I don't know the weeds ko grow nahi karte hain. They just leave anything that it grows. So wrong habits, bad habits come automatically. We don't have to really worry about, Hare, I am developing a wrong habit. It comes just, we don't have to, without observation it comes. But if somebody wants to cultivate good habits, it's like the mango tree. It doesn't come automatically. You have to, put the seed and, protect it, fence it, protecting from some animals and give them water, all the nourishment. Make sure the sunlight comes on that sapling. And then it goes into a tree. So in the bhakti also, that's why it is, our bhakti is a process of watering. So how intelligently we do it, this particular process, so that the sweet mangoes can come later. Otherwise what happens? We are in our garden, we only find weeds, weed after weed, another weed after weed. And we don't even know. At the end of the day, where are the trees? There are no trees here. All only weeds. It's not useful for anyone. So our bhakti also, you have to be extra careful, especially when the initial years, that whatever habits we are developing in our bhakti. Otherwise, we become normalize it. Just like this, this killing, animal killing. I go example of some brahmanas who chalta hai, meat eating chalta hai, koi problem, sab log kha rahe. So similarly, everybody does something wrong, it is not a standard. सब लोग कर रहे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, सब लोग कर रहे हैं ना, ये भी कर रहे वो भी कर रहे, ये ड्यूटी कर रहे वो ड्यूटी कर रहे, ये भी जब में सोता है वो भी सोता है, मैं भी सोता हूँ, तो ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है. लाइक यू नो everybody is sleeping, so I am also sleeping. Prabhu, first wake him up, then I will come to me. Somebody helps also, then first you tell the example of other person, उनको उठाओ पहले, बाद में हम देखते हैं. So this is a amazing some examples which I came across in this connection. Then this purport is giving very nice understanding. What is the root cause of sinful propensities? This animal killing is a sinful propensity. So what is the root cause of it actually? So it is very clearly mentioned in the beginning of the purport. Those who do not surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead lose their good qualities. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahat guna. That is in the Bhagavatam, it's quoted here. And become infected with sinful habits. When we don't follow this Supreme Lord teachings and the Acharya's teachings, then what happens? It is very easy to become affected by the sinful activities. And it will inevitably bring terrible suffering upon the living entity. That's why it is read, no? They have to go to Yamaraj, the iron horns of the animals are waiting. Okay, that is for animal sacrifice. But whatever sinful activity we do, the reaction we have to face, either in this life or the next, right? So, in this kind of, then what is the basis so that we don't fall in this, sinful propensities? The sixth canto explains about how we can avoid, because normal processes like karma, jnana, they can maybe reduce some reactions, but they cannot wipe off the sinful propensities. Like Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu explains about that, propensities, the proclivities, right? But if somebody want to really root out the actual cause of the issue, then we have to go to the Bhakti Marga. And then Bhakti also, if you see the translation, it's mentioned religious principles. So every yuga, there is certain principles are given, right? What is to be followed in this, what is the most beneficial in this yuga, right? So, 2 days before, we were celebrating our Sanatana Goswami's, we are discussing about Sanatana Goswami. Then we see that, our Sanatana Goswami in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, he has given amazing shloka about how to strengthen our bhakti. So which is a foundation, So the foundation is, I will just read out the shloka. Very interesting shloka, it is very nice. It says, Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Manas Samharanam Saucham Maunam Mantrartha Chintanam Avyagratvam Anirvedo Japa Sampatti Hetava. This is a very nicely mentioned, very simple shloka. You can even memorize. And this particular simple shloka is explaining the 6 aspects how to, how we can do the bhakti in the age of Kali by doing the japa yajna, the process of chanting very powerfully. Because the purport is mentioning about getting addicted to sinful activities. In the age of Kali, the only protection we have is the chanting of holy names. So let us see some obstacles which we find in our day-to-day chanting. So first, the interesting thing is that when Krishna told Arjuna that, bring back your mind, what he says, yato yato nischalati manas chanchalamasstiram. Krishna said to Arjuna, mind is chanchala. It is always chala. Chalte rehte. Kabhi ek jagah nahi rehta hai. So then Krishna told him, bring it back. Wherever the mind wanders, bring it back. Then in that connection, the 6th chapter Bhagavad-gita further says in 34th shloka, then Arjuna says, again he uses the same word, chanchala. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadrunam. Right? What he says? Tasyaham nigram manye vayoriva doshudushkritam. Means, my dear friend, teacher, friend, relative Arjuna, Krishna, you are saying, bring back the mind. But I have a power to control the wind. What he says, Tasyaham nigraham manya vayoriva. I can control the wind. Such is difficult, no? Sometimes the wind comes. Recently in Assam, there got a lot of wind and floods. So many people died. So many havoc happened. The wind can cause such a destruction, massive destruction. But Arjuna is saying, I can control the wind, no problem. I can control it successfully. But mind, no, I am sorry. I am not able to, cannot control. Then Arjuna quoted his problem statement. Very difficult, my dear Krishna, it's very difficult to control mind. But the reply is very amazing. What Krishna says, Hare, what you are telling, you are such a intelligent Arjuna, Krishna, warrior, can't you control mind? He is not negating the problem. What he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvachas, Asamsayam Mahabaho, Mano Durnigraham Chalam. That what he says, Asamsayam matlab without doubt, matlab yes, I don't have any doubt. Aap jo bata rahe, mind is very difficult to control. I don't have any doubt. I agree. Then why he is saying Mahabaho here? Like, Krishna uses specific words for specific, the shlokas. Na? Mahabaho means like warrior with lot of muscle power, Yes, you are Mahabaho, but I understand that your power is not enough to control the mind. Then, Mano Durnigraham, very difficult. But what is the solution he gives? Anyone? What is the line he says next? Abhyasena to kaunteya vairagyena cha grahyate. Again kaunteya. Why kaunteya? Again quoting the important hierarchy. Yes, it is difficult. Mahabaho, it's difficult. Then kaunteya, but it's not impossible. Then what are the techniques he gives? Because this particular shloka which I quoted from Hari Bhakti Vilasa says this thing. That the first key in improving our chanting is that mana samharanam. What is mana samharanam means? Withdraw the mind from the distractions. Controlling the mind. That is one of the first important step. Right? Then when we do that successfully, then our chanting begins. Not the end. Mind control is not the end, it's the beginning. So that's why Krishna is telling two things. What is how to control the mind? Abhyasanetu. One has to practice. So I will give a practical example. When a sadhaka starts chanting, initially he was focusing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Then what happens after 5-6 mantras? Little bit deviated. Like 2-3 mantras samajh mein nahi aata. Then again you come back. One time. Then after some time again you get distracted. Again you come back. So when the sadhaka does it, after 2-3 times he becomes very like little restless. Hare, how many times I have to do? Again and I have to bring it. So that's why Krishna is saying Abhyasanetu. This is you don't have an option, because Krishna in Gita himself is saying that it is not easy to control the mind. Yes, the problem which you mentioned is correct. Very difficult to control the mind. But you have to, without getting discouraged, we should not be, we have to try. Another thing sadhaka has to do is that he should not be surprised. Hare, I am chanting for 15 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Abhi bhi mera mind bhatak rahe. So it is something problem. So, but we have to encourage, self-encouragement has to be given. Sometimes we feel very discouraged. Why my chanting is going, distracted. But the thing is that we should not be surprised, because we have been in the material life, in this material world for, millions of lifetimes. But it is possible. It's not that, it's impossible to chant without distraction. People can do that. But we should not be discouraged, and we should not be surprised, and we have to accept the fact that there are many distractions in our surroundings, including the gadgets, people, situations, even sometimes the environment. So, but we should not be discouraged. We should not be that I am getting distracted. So first thing is that we should not be, we have to practice that. We have to practice. So what is the practice? Bring it back. Bring it back, again bring it back, again bring it back. Then Then the next step is what? Vairagya. What is Vairagya here? Vairagya from Seva. Prabhu, mera chanting अच्छा नहीं हुआ, आज सेवा नहीं करेंगे. Whatever Vairagya you are talking. Yesterday Devakinanda mentioned, na, one disciple was asked service. Guru Maharaj, I have chanting left. Okay, can you get water? Chanting left. Can you do off boga to the Lord? Chanting left. But prasadam ka time. Chanting finish. So sometimes we find such examples, So Vairagya is available only in those activities which is not, we don't want. But when it comes to, when a chanting happens, so we have to detach from our mobile phone. And people come and distract, they want to share something, some gossip. And, we should try to avoid, because that will distract us in our focus in chanting. And then one of the biggest detachment we have to is from our mind. Our mind wants to take us from India to Europe to America to Australia, New Zealand, pura paribrahman, like whole earth. So the detachment helps one from getting distracted. So that requires a conviction. It's not that, you just want to do it that day. Anything requires practice. Without practice, you cannot practice detachment during the chanting. Somebody did not practice during the day how to detach from the, immediate difficulties. Then they can't do it in the chanting also. Because chanting is become like sometimes when you start chanting, the Harinam becomes background, the thoughts come to the foreground. And you keep murmuring the thoughts. अरे ऐसा बोलना नहीं था, ऐसा करना नहीं था, ऐसा मेरे को नहीं बताना चाहिए था. वो डिवोटी ऐसा क्यों बोला मेरे को? वो नहीं जानता है मेरे बारे में. मैं कितना स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ. मेरे हेल्थ का पता है नहीं उनको. So people may feel like that. But that is the distraction. That is how the Maya, deviates from our valuable time of chanting. So that's why we should stop. So that's a very nice definition I heard. For a struggling sadhaka, what is the meaning of attentive chanting? It's very interesting. Huh? For a struggling sadhaka, what is the meaning of attentive chanting? Is that his repeated effort to bring back mind is attentive chanting. Like this is one devotee mentioned, I felt it's very encouraging. For a sadhaka, what is attentive? Bring back your mind at our own stage. Again, when you progress to the next stage, maybe you have a better definition. But at my own stage, all of you are great souls, but I am a struggling person. So I feel that, this is a very good definition. That if I can bring back repeatedly my mind back to my holy name, that is my, success, And then we saw the association, like how it can help. We saw the Karna, how he got distracted. Even though he was a good guy, but he got into wrong association of Duryodhana. And then he lost all his virtues and values. And he was finally killed by Arjuna. So this is a problem with us. When we don't know, we get distracted. That's why the first one is Mana Samharanam, the control of the mind. The next one is that Saucham. Saucham means cleanliness, Safai. External and internal. External, all of you know, all of you are vibrant, wearing fresh dhoti, kurta, and everything, taking bath. So this is external, all of us are perfect. The second is internal. The internal cleanliness thoughts, whether I am focusing on the faults of others or my own mind or own business. Because mind is there to always point suddenly, he is small person, he doesn't do this thing, he sleeps in chanting, or he doesn't come for Mangala, he doesn't come for Guru Puja, he doesn't come for class, something like that. Every time, mind always want to generalize our wrong practices with somebody else. Means, उनका गलती है तो मैं सही हूँ. वो गलत कर रहे हैं ना, मैं सही हूँ. I am right. So this is mind का बड़ा चाल है. It always, and that we become victim of that game. That always try to find somebody is not doing something. So I am doing this thing. I am a great person. I am a great soul. No, but I am having so many other shortcomings. Why don't you realize that? So this is the problem with the mind. So that's why internal cleanliness is very important, of not finding fault with others, just minding our own business. Let us, this Krishna consciousness is mind your own business. Okay, somebody is kept under your care, you may do the necessary care. But that also without happiness of finding faults. अरे देखो ये सो जाता है, मैं देखो अच्छा वो कनिष्ठा है, मैं निष्ठा हूँ, right? He's a कनिष्ठा guy, अभी अभी आया है. But I am a निष्ठा, I don't sleep. But I don't sleep, that is a pride which will affect your chanting. You see the problem? अरे सोने से भी प्रॉब्लम है, नहीं सोने से भी प्रॉब्लम है. क्या है प्रभु जी? If you sleep, then you are gone. If you don't sleep and think that other people are sleeping and you become proud that I am a great soul, that is also a problem. क्या करूं? So this is the living entities, that's why you have to be very careful not to compare with others. You compare with yourself. Okay, last year how much nicely I chanted, last Ekadashi tak how nicely I am chanting. This Ekadashi, did I improve? Whether did I chant some extra rounds? What did I do? So let us compare with ourselves. That is the peaceful, sadhaka ka best, And then next point is about the maunam. अरे why Sanatana Goswami is saying maunam? मतलब हम लोग chanting करते हैं ना, ऐसा माला घुमा लेते हैं, maunam. Nothing come out, holy name doesn't even come out. माला खत्म हो जाता है, So not that type of maunam. Maunam means avoiding unnecessary talk, like prajalpa, to be frank. During chanting also many people get lot of urge during chanting, and the best ideas for service comes during chanting. The reason is that because we are not practicing properly. Keep the mind away. Mind ko dur rakhne by hear the holy name. That is important. So practice ka, that's why we have to be careful with the gossip, criticism, arguments, blasphemy, heated discussions. These are the 5 things we have to avoid if you want to chant peaceful. What are the gossip, criticism, argument? Argument means we may argue, but so many times we get into negative arguments. We want to somehow prove that my point is correct, this fellow is wrong. And blasphemy and heated discussions. These are the 5 things we have to avoid if you really want chant by nicely. And then more and more. Then the 4th one is mantrartha chintanam. What is the meaning of mantrartha chintanam? Very simple Sanskrit. Means meditate on the meaning of the mantra. So that's why a sadhaka has to every day, like we chant 6 Shastakam prayers and 10 offenses. So, but every day if you can, before chanting, you read the mantra meaning. That, please engage, oh Lord, oh divine energy of Lord Hare, please engage me in your service. That really helps our chanting. So this is very important. Why we are chanting? प्रभु खत्म करना है, बाकी लोग कर रहे हैं ना, मेरे को भी करना है. 16 माला नहीं करेंगे तो लोग क्या समझेंगे मेरे बारे में? I am not a standard devotee. बहुत बार this type of things affect us in our chanting, that saying that others are doing, so I am also doing. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says about mara hua machli, like very nice example. Sometime on the ocean, some fish dies, mar jata hai. But when the wave comes, it also comes on the waves, as if it is live. But sometimes our chanting also is like that, सब लोग कर रहे हैं आज, हरे कृष्णा, सब लोग सबका chanting सुनते हैं, हमारा पता नहीं क्या हो गया, भगवान सुनेंगे. So we don't listen our own chanting, So this is important, to again. Then the 5th one, avyagrata. Avyagrata means do not rush. Very nice example I can recollect. Sometime in one of the temple when I was serving, I had to make some cabinets, wooden cabinets with plywood and other sunmica and all this. Then one devotee came and told me, Prabhu, there are 2 options. One is called, you give contract and they will make and give us. Another is called daily wages. You have to, jitna din bhi lage wo karte rahenge, you have to pay every day whatever amount. Then I asked him, what is the difference? If you give contract, he will give the product. But kab tak rahega bata nahi. Don't know. Because For a contract means within this man, I have to earn more money in less time. So somehow I have to complete my cabinet, and I have to go to next work. But daily wages means quality is guaranteed because he knows that I will get paid. I have to slowly acha karta hai. So, but we have to have something hybrid in our chanting, because many times we see some 8-9 minutes are remaining. Do mala bacha hai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Somehow we complete all the do rounds, and then because Darshanarti is starting or Guru Puja is starting, something rush and complete it. So that we should not become that cabinet guy who want to complete the cabinets and take money and get out of it. Chant 16 rounds and complete it, right? So if you are in the mood of completing, then holy name also will not take us seriously, because we want to just get rid of the holy name. Complete karo, khatam karo. Bahut prasadam waiting hai hamare liye. So this is very dangerous actually. The sadhaka should not rush in. This is the 5th point which is mentioned by Sanatana Goswami. And then chant your natural pace. Whatever chanting you are doing, some people requires 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. Different people have different pace. But the idea is that hearing the holy name without missing the syllable. That is our goal, right? And the 6th one is more interesting, is Anirveda. Because our Acharya knows the condition of the souls in the Kali Yuga. What is the meaning? Anirveda means never become discouraged. We should not become discouraged. So, and do not lose hope. Right? And do not become disappointed. अरे हो नहीं रहे प्रभु, कितना माला करूं, कितना चरणामृत पियाऊं, कितना दर्शन किया हूं, माला अच्छा होता नहीं है. So that that is the actually challenge. That is also Maya given challenge. How we are really serious about attaining Krishna. See, I heard a statement. Our goal of life is to become mad after Krishna. Amazing sentence. We become mad after Krishna. We want to become mad after Krishna, but we have to face the troubles. Little trouble of struggling with mind and senses. How otherwise you will become mad after Maya. If you don't handle this crisis in our bhakti, and we take support from devotees, prepare yourself how to chant nicely in the day before. Suddenly बहुत लोग क्या करते हैं, माला निकालते हैं, चाले घंटे करते हैं, माला रख दिया, दिन भर हमारा काम खत्म. So next day again they come and open the mala and chant. But I can tell you, their quality of chanting is very difficult actually for them. Those who chant mala to mala, japa to japa. Like japa session to japa session. So anything you want to improve, you have to do abhyas. There is no shortcut. That's why asha baddha, devotee has to become hopeful. But with the abhyas. Without abhyas, the hope is useless. Automatically ठीक हो जाएगा chanting. Automatically ठीक हो जाएगा. Nothing happens automatically. Only degradation happens automatically. Chanting का quality नीचे चला जाता है automatically. If you don't effort. Right? So that's why whatever is not in our hand, be detached. Bhava, prema, वो हमारा हाथ में नहीं है. But what is in our hand? Bringing back the mind. So focus on what you can do within our own efforts, with our own efforts. Right? So Krishna may not grant Krishna prema, after 5 years, 10 years. There is no contract. After 10 years you do bhakti in ashram, you will get Krishna prema. There is no contract signed, So we have to have patience, and we have to be hopeful, and we should not become, this thing. So let us revise what 6 things Sanatana Goswami said in this thing. First one is mana samharanam, means bring back the mind. First thing. And the second is saucham, cleanliness, internal and external. And third is maunam. What is the maunam? We have to do maunam from 5 things. What are the 5? Anyone remembers? Yes. Hare Krishna. No gossip. No heated arguments. Like that. So many things. Please, I also want to remind myself. I am just repeating like parrot. But these are things which I need to improve in my own life. And mantrartha chintanam. Chanting. Knowing the meaning. Reading the prayers for Harinam Prabhu. That will improve our chanting. And then avyagrata means patience. जल्दी पना नहीं है, जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करो, चैंटिंग करो, फिर दूसरा काम में चले जाओ. No. Then holy name also will treat you like that. अरे इनको जल्दी है, मुझे भी जल्दी है, चले जाएंगे. Then sixth one is Anirveda. Never lose hope. Always devotee should be hopeful, but with the condition Abhyasa and then Vairagya. Just like Krishna is saying in the Gita. And then from the purport we saw that we should not generalize things. Everybody is chanting, everybody is not paying attention to the holy name, everybody is doing so many things. So I also don't have to do it. No. Your bhakti is in your hands. You have to struggle. You can't give excuse of others not doing seriously, saying that he is not doing, so why should I do it? Arre, this fellow doesn't go do this thing, so why should I hear him? No problem. If you come to class and don't follow, or I'm not saying follow me, the acharyas are telling actually. If you go by the principle, learn the principle, compare yourself. Don't worry about so many things around us, because many things are not in our hand. And take right association. Don't become like Karna, who was a good person and again got distracted. I have seen people like that in my own little experience. They are very good people. They choose to talk nicely. But I see them, they associate with some devotees who are like disgruntled, envious, harsh speech. And now they are speaking like that. That very famous example of two parrots who were sold to one to the butcher and another to like a nice person. Both were brothers, but they act differently after some time. So that's why it is our own responsibility. Our spiritual is our responsibility. Not anybody's temple president responsibility or somebody responsibility, right? It is our own responsibility, right? So kindly forgive me if I said something beyond my realization, and pray that I can remind these principles and practice my own life for my betterment. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Any comments, Maharaj? Any questions? Yeah, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a very nice class, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I especially appreciated these points from Sanatan Goswami for tips on attentive chanting. I think this is something I want to read again later in the day, revise, review, try to apply these points in my life. When you talked about the socham, the cleanliness of the consciousness, you mentioned the 5 points that need to be avoided. So my understanding is these 5 points like criticizing others and gossiping, etc., they all come from our mouth.
Okay.
We're talking, right?
Okay.
So if we practice Mona Vrata during our japa, and we don't say anything except for Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So if we keep Mona Vrata, then we can avoid this mal, the dirt, and we can have socham. So it's a practice I try to practice to maintain the Mona Vrata from the Mangala arati to the breakfast prasadam.
Hare bol, Hare bol. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, I had one question, like you are saying about meat eaters or people who are like slaughtering animals. So while I am distributing books, I met some people, most of the people like in Maharashtra, different, and now Mumbai also, people are not touching books and not touching card as well because they are saying I am eating meat and all. So how do I like I'd say by touching this you will purify, but so what should I do?
You are asking about something very interesting that many people sell that, like when I used to do book distribution, many people say this, like, no, I don't come like that. So I think we have to ask other book distributors. That is the best practice, because I may say something, but I don't know how today what is relevant. So other book distributors can give us more guidance. I think Juhu is filled with so many book distributors. I am feel encouraged, So I feel maybe can get consulted. I am not that knowledgeable. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.